crafty friends. My name is Jessica and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a card that's completely inspired by this lovely color combo from paperheartdesign.com that I found on Pinterest. I'm going to pair it or accomplish it with some of my favorite gloss sprays on Yupo paper. I absolutely love this technique and it is so much fun. So I went ahead and embossed the Yupo with the sparkling facets embossing folder, and we're going to add these lovely dies from Says Stamp. To get started, we're going to go ahead and use the sprays. I absolutely love these gloss sprays from Dina Wakley in the Ranger ink line. They are so much fun, especially when you use them on Yupo, which is what I'm doing here today. I have an art degree and in studio art, and my concentration was ceramics and painting. And the way that these glosses dry on the Yupo paper reminds me of ceramic glaze, especially where it gets thick and drips into each of the colors. It's hard to tell here, but the way that it crystallizes when it dries, absolutely amazing. So I went ahead and sprayed the lapis, peacock, and olive, and now I am flicking on the fuchsia color to go ahead and get this panel created. The other reason this reminds me of ceramic glaze is it pulls away from the highs and pools in the lows of this embossed panel. So I went ahead and dried that panel off camera, and just a few tips regarding that before we get into what's going on next is you're going to want to make sure when you're using Yupo paper and heat that you move your heat source around and don't let it sit. It will shrink and shrivel the Yupo paper. You also want to make sure that you're in a ventilated area because there is a little bit of fumes that come off when heating these panels. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the ink blending on this die from Says Stamp. I'm using the trio cabbage, artichoke, and kale, and just adding a little bit of dimension to this greenery sprig. We're going to be adding this to the card panel, and I want to ensure that it has some depth to it so that it doesn't get lost on the vibrancy of the back panel and that it stands out a little bit more. And a great way to do that is to add these depth of color to these die cuts. Looking back at our reference photo, I went ahead and checked off 4 of the colors that are in the inspiration. And then I'm using this artichoke and kale and then olive paper later on for the sentiment for that olive green at the bottom. So I'm adding all the colors. We're not going to be skipping any for this time. So after I went in with the dark colors, I finished it off by adding a all over light color to these die cuts to ensure that they've got a nice little ink blend on them. I love the way this waffle flower grip mat holds my die cuts for ink blending. Now we're going to go ahead and build the sentiment. I like a lot of loft to my sentiment, so I'm adding 3 die cuts of white on top of this olive green paper from my stash. One of the ways I like to find inspiration is for sure to peruse Pinterest for these color combos. I actually have a whole board dedicated to pinning color combos too, so that when I'm feeling like I need a little bit more oomph or a little direction, I love to go to that board and look at the color combos and see if there's any that inspire me. This one for sure did from paperheartdesign.com, and actually their website's really great for additional inspiration. Now, one of the things that I find is gluing on matte colored cardstock or this gold metallic cardstock is sometimes it takes a little extra time to glue. So I'm using my reverse tweezers there to ensure that that small thin border glues to the butterfly. Now here's a quick look at the panel. See where you can see some of that like glazed cracking that I was talking about earlier. Absolutely love how it turned out. Now we're going to get back to the butterfly. Even after sitting there with the reverse tweezers on it, it's still a little wet. It's not completely dry. It's slipping around quite a bit. So you're going to see here that I end up moving it and have to put it all back together. But no worries. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to set this stamp block on top of it to ensure that the pressure continues to let that glue dry. So now we're going to come to my favorite part, the fiddling of the layout of the card. I do this for every card, trying to figure out how I'm going to lay everything out until it becomes to a point where it looks complete to me. So I'm just trying to figure out here how I'm going to do the sprigs. Am I going to layer them? I felt like the layering was too much. You kind of lost it. So we're going to start with one, and then we're going to go ahead and cut the other one and move into layering it that way. So here I'm just making sure that's what I want to do. Couple more. I felt like that looked like a baseball for the baseball seams. And then I'm finally kind of figuring it out. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to use one. But a trick we're going to use is these 3D foam strips from Says Stamp. These are pretty new. These came out, I think, the last release or maybe the release before. And I absolutely love them. They're the perfect thickness, both in loft and in, how narrow they are. And they work great on these smaller dies. Here's a trick. If you're finding that you can't get your foam tape to lay where you want it, pull the backing off. That makes it so that that foam tape is way more malleable and you can get the curves on some of these harder die cuts when you take the back of the panel off. And if you're not ready to adhere it, you just put it back down like I did. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and pop up this die. Already it's got those 3 white dies stacked on top, but we're going to want a little bit more dimension. So I went ahead and put those foam strips on top. And then now we're going to go ahead and glue down the greenery. I noticed here that I liked the idea of cutting the other one and offsetting it by reversing it and making it look a little bit fuller without laying them on top of each other. Now, this is the other thing I spend a lot of time doing. Do I want to create the border or do I want to make a full card out of the panel? And I did decide to do a border. I didn't show it there, but I did trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm using my favorite dimensional tape for background panels. This is Ulta New foam tape, and I am an over adhesor. I'm sorry if you are not, but I am. I realize that not everybody does this, but I do not like my cards to collapse. So I do use a fair bit amount of foam tape when I'm putting panels down or anything that might have the opportunity to divot in the mail. So there we go. We got that white border. We're going to go ahead and push that down and then go ahead and glue the greenery on using some Barely Art glue. I start off using this and then I switch to a thicker glue to ensure that it's getting good contact. And I do not use stamping blocks for stamping, or if I do, it's a very rare. I think I've been using them to glue things together way more than I ever have stamped with them. But I absolutely love the pressure that it puts on it. It allows me to move on to other things instead of using my fingers and ensuring that my hands are freed up for other projects. So I'm loving the way that that looks. We're going to go ahead and continue to glue it down before I move on to the next step. If you're interested in the supplies that I've used today, I have everything linked below for you, where I also use affiliate links. Please know that these affiliate links are at no cost to you, but if you click on the link and shop with me, I do get a small kickback, and it orders me to keep my content fresh for everyone today. I also have a ton of inspiration on my blog, a whole gallery of all the different cards I've made over the past year using these gloss sprays. So if you're interested in seeing some more, be sure to check out my blog and the link is below. So I went ahead and took the backing off of the foam tape for the sentiment and adhered that down. And then I'm adding on this butterfly now that it has completely adhered together. This is where I've brought in the craft tacky glue from Says Stamp. It's a thicker glue, and I do find that when you need a little bit extra stick for these situations where things are having a hard time gluing, that this has come in handy. I tend to not use it though all the time because it doesn't have a fine tip, and I use the Barely Art for that. So I'm adding in these sprigs that I cut off just to ensure that we're keeping that side full of greenery. And then that's the card for today. Be sure to check out the links below for all the products used today. And I appreciate you being here. Take care.